Last night, your dog was sleeping on the couch. Paws twitching, nose flicking, a soft little whimper escaping without warning. And for just a second, you wondered, what is going on inside that head right now? Is he chasing something? Running through an open field? Dreaming about you? Here's the thing. That's not just a cute thought you had. Scientists have actually studied this, and the answer goes much deeper than you'd expect. Because it doesn't just tell us about animals, it tells us something profound about consciousness itself. For a long time, the assumption was simple. Dreaming is a human thing, something that came with our big, complicated, overthinking brains. Animals sleep, sure, but dream? That felt like too much. Then neuroscientists started hooking animals up to EEG machines, the same machines used to study human sleep, and everything changed. Dogs, rats, cats, even birds, they all show the exact same brainwave patterns during sleep that humans show when we dream. Specifically during something called REM sleep, rapid eye movement, the stage where almost all human dreaming happens. In 2001, MIT researchers did something that nobody had done before. They implanted tiny electrodes into the brains of rats while the rats ran through a maze during the day. They recorded which neurons fired and in what order. Then at night, while the rats slept, the same neurons fired again, in the same exact sequence. The rats were mentally running the maze in their sleep. They weren't just resting, they were reliving their day, replaying it scene by scene inside a sleeping brain. So they dream, but what do they actually see? A dog most likely dreams about dog things, running, sniffing, playing fetch, chasing something just out of reach, and probably the people they love. Studies show that during REM sleep, dogs show activity in the same emotional brain regions that light up when they see their owners. Your dog might literally be dreaming about you right now. Cats dream too, and honestly, if you've ever watched a cat sleep, you already know this without needing a scientist to confirm it. The tail flicking, the claws slowly extending, that quiet little growl, they're hunting. Even unconscious, the predator instinct doesn't fully switch off. But here is the detail that genuinely stopped me. Smaller animals dream more intensely than larger ones. A rat enters REM sleep every 15 minutes, a human every 90. The smaller and more vulnerable the creature, the more frantically its brain runs during sleep. Almost like even in unconsciousness, it cannot afford to fully let go. There's a psychological theory called threat rehearsal theory. The idea that dreams didn't evolve randomly. They evolved as a survival mechanism. A way for the brain to simulate dangerous situations, to practice responses, to stay sharp even while the body rests. Dreams aren't chaos, they're preparation. And animals figured that out long before we did. And this is where it gets genuinely heavy. If animals dream, as they replay their days, as they feel fear and safety and longing even while unconscious, then they have an inner life, a subjective experience, something it actually feels like to be them. Philosophers call this phenomenal consciousness. And for centuries, the assumption was that only humans truly possess it, that the lights were only fully on in here. But the evidence keeps pointing somewhere else. When you watch your dog sleeping, when you see that tail do a slow, sleepy wag, you are not just watching an animal rest. You are watching another mind work, another consciousness sorting through a life that matters to it. And maybe that should shift something in us. Maybe it should change how we think about the creatures we share our lives with. Because if dreaming is the mark of a mind that thinks, feels, and processes a world, then we are far, far from alone in this. So next time your dog twitches in its sleep, it's not just a reflex firing. It's a whole other world, playing out behind closed eyes.